Yes guys, welcome back to Hair System DIY, your go-to place for hair system advice, hair loss, hair system tutorials, solutions, insights, Q&As, and most importantly, ways to save you guys money on hair loss solutions, notably hair systems. Today we're going to be talking about, well actually we're not going to be talking about, we're going to be getting right into the action. This is going to be an unboxing video, so it's pretty much more directed at people who may not have yet purchased a hair system, people who are on the fence. This is exactly what it looks like. This is what it's going to look like when you receive your parcel. So I'm going to show you what it looks like inside, just to allay any anxieties or any fears as to how it may look initially, because don't worry, it's going to be absolutely fine, and I'm going to talk you guys right through it. So let's get over to the hair system unboxing. What I will say is I've actually had this hair system just sitting in my cupboard for a couple of months, but it's going to be the next hair system that I'm wearing. It's a poly, it's not an ultra thin skin. It's from Lavivid, and it's actually one of the hair systems which I do recommend for first-time users. It's a really good system. It's pretty robust and forgiving, and that's why I really feel that it's quite good for beginners. Now, Lavivid are offering 15% off any of their stock systems, so if you are interested after seeing this video in getting a Lavivid system, you can get 15% off Adam15 in the coupon code box on their website. You can find it in my description box. So this is what the box looks like when it arrives. So it usually comes in a FedEx parcel, and then you unwrap that, and this is what the hair system is in. It's usually in this sort of shoebox thing, but also it sometimes comes in like a sort of rollback, firmer sort of cardboard box. But this one came in the shoebox. So you open that, and then this right here is the hair system. So I'm just going to pull that out for the time being, just to show you what else it comes with. So this is, I always find really useful. So this is basically some free care tips that is included within every single Lavivid order that you make. So it just gives you 7 very simple tips to take the best possible care of your hair system to get it to sort of last as long as possible. They also give their information here, so you can email them or you can call them. They also offer 30-day returns. You just need to fill in this little form here and then send it back. And then you've got their nice little logo there as well. Now let's look at the actual system itself. So it will always come in sort of like this plastic bag, which I suppose sort of stops it from getting dust, accumulating dust, or anything else in the period where it's being sort of shipped between the actual factory itself and you. So we are just going to, I'm just going to zoom out. Perfect. So let's open this up. And as you can see as well, on the other side, it always has a label which basically explains the system that you ordered, which is always helpful, because what if you get a system that you didn't order? Now you know. So this is the Coeus. So it's a sort of medium poly all round, but you will always find that label on the inside telling you what the system is. And obviously if it's not the system you ordered, you can be like, oh well, the label says this, and you can send it back and they'll send you the correct one. Well, that's never happened for me. So let's open the actual plastic bag itself. And as you can see, this is not what the system looks like when it goes on my head. And I remember the first time that I got a hair system ever, I saw this and I was like, I didn't want a curly hair system. But it's not a curly hair system. This is just how they look when they arrive. Okay, so please don't panic when your system arrives and it looks really curly and a bit like a barrister's wig. Please do not panic. It also comes with this sort of like fishnet, which you see with chefs usually wear them, don't they? And it basically just keeps the hair system as intact as possible. So I pull that off, it's got the label attached to it. And it always comes with a plastic dome. Now I find these plastic domes really useful if you're cutting your own base. So if you're cutting your own base, it's really helpful to have this actual dome, because you can put that on your head and draw lines where your bald space is, and that is where you can cut the base of the system to make sure it fits your balding area. Now, interestingly with polys, what I always find is they stick a little bit to the actual dome. So be a little bit careful, especially if you've ordered an ultra thin skin. Be a little bit careful when you're removing it from the plastic dome. But don't throw this away, please, guys. Always keep these. I've got about 5 of them for if I'm ever cutting my own base to my boarding area size. It's really, really helpful. So as you can see, this is what a poly base sort of looks like. It also has, at the bottom, you'll know it's the back of the system because it has usually a code on it. Sometimes it has the color number, for instance, but the code or a label is always on the back of the system, never on the front. So that's some really useful info for you guys. Now, as you can see, it's very curly on top. This is not how it looks when it's cut in on your head, so do not worry. Basically, what a stylist will do, they basically comb through it, and the curls kind of go away once a hairstylist or a barber combs through the curls, and then once they cut it, it gives a very sort of straight, I think this is a slightly wavy appearance, this particular system, but for instance with the one I'm wearing right now, which you could see me wearing at the top of the video, that looked exactly like this when it came, but when the stylist cuts it in, the curls kind of disappear. I don't know why there are curls on the systems. I genuinely don't. Maybe it's my initial gut instinct would be it's easier for it to be curly in terms of fitting it into a box. It's way easier. It takes up less room because when you comb through it, it becomes straight. So please do not worry about that, guys. It will look absolutely normal once it's been cut in by a recommended hair system stylist or barber. Of course, what I do recommend is before you go to your stylist to get this cut in, I would literally put this all back together. So put the dome under the base, put it back in the bag and whack it in the box and take it in the box to your hair system stylist. That way it doesn't get messy in your bag or anything like that. It's fully protected inside the box itself.